Hey guys, we're going to talk about Unit 2 topics. First of all, we're going to get started with variables. So, in your world, there's a couple different ways of making variables. Today, we're just going to focus on one of them. At the bottom of your page, there is an option called variables. If you click and drag that into the world, you can have variables. So, the first thing about variables is there is a type of variables. Okay, so there's two variables for numbers, decimal numbers. You can see the examples. Whole numbers, you see the examples. Boolean is either true or false, and then string is hello or goodbye. So if I wanted to store how old the panda was, what do you think I would use? Whole numbers. Let's call it age, and now I give it an initial value. Okay, I don't know how old the panda is, so I'm going to set it to 0 initially. Okay, so there's a couple ways that you can get values. You could manually set it, or you could also ask the user for values. If we want to ask the user for values, we go to Functions. And if you scroll down, there's 4 functions. And those are the same as the data types we had before. So we want to use getInteger from user. Okay? And we're going to ask, how old is the panda? Okay? So now we can use this variable. We can have the panda say things with that variable, or we could use logic like if statements with that variable. We're going to have the panda say how old it is. So back to procedures, and panda is going to say a custom text string with I am, and I have a space here because we're going to say I am, how old they are, and years old. So after I typed in I am, I go to this little triangle, which allows me to say more things to it. And I am plus what else? Well, plus a whole number, that whole number being the age. So as of right now, it'll say, hello, it'll say I am, if we typed in 8, it'll say I am 8. But we want it to say, I am 8 years old. So just like we clicked the triangle one time, we want to do it again. So age plus a custom text string. Make sure you have a space, and then say years old. So when I hit run, and I type in how old I am, it'll say, I am 8 years old. And if you didn't have spaces in there, it'll smush the I am 8 years old, and it'll smush it all together. Okay, now let's make another variable to remember what the panda's name is. Okay, so to remember the panda's name, we have a variable. What would the data type be? It would be a number. It would be a text string. And I'm going to say panda name using camel case. And I'm going to set it to just Steve or anything for now. But I'm going to change that. Just like I asked for the user to input the panda's age, I'm going to do that the same way with functions. Get string from user, and what is the panda's name? Okay. Okay, so now I want the panda to say his name. But notice, if you tried to change I am to panda's name, it doesn't let you, because you haven't made panda's name yet before the say. So let's drag the say underneath it. And now let's have them say panda's name. So in order for it to say the panda's name here, you can actually click on panda's name and drag it in here. Now it'll say their name and their age is years old. But if you hit run, you'll notice, how old is he? 8. What's his name? Ned. It'll say Ned 8 is years old. And if you guys didn't see it, I'm going to change the duration to a little bit longer. Pause. Dang it. Ned and 8 were squished together. Why was Ned and 8 squished together? I didn't put a space after Ned. So here, if we want to concatenate this, it'd be panda's name plus a text string, which is just in one space by itself. Now, you could say, like, is. That might. And if you put is, you'll need a space before and after is. So now you can say 8 and Ned. And now look, because Ned, I have a space with is, and then a space 8 years old. My panda likes to talk in third person.